Okay, so it is now finally time to prepare for painting. The room is tidy, the plaster is pretty much ready. So what we're going to do is tape up the plugs and switches, lay out the fleece on the floor, tape around the bottom, and put some plastic over the doors, tape that up so that we can just close both the doors, and then get the sprayer set up and get everything ready. Okay, so there we go. See my tripod that I've painted a couple of times now. That's all laid out. Now we're ready to get some plastic, block off the bathroom, cover that door, cover this door, and then get the paint sprayer in. Okay, so thunderstorm is raging outside. Hopefully the electricity doesn't go out because we're about to start painting. We've got the doors done, pretty much. Got the bathroom done. We've got the paint machine out. I'm going to prime it. I've got one thing of hot water because obviously now the bathroom is closed off, so I can't get any more hot water. Just to thin out the paint a little bit. This is what was recommended to me. So I'm going to mix it up, prime the machine, and then we'll get going. Now, last time when we painted the bathroom, I ended up painting my iPhone quite a lot, so it's obviously going to have some. I'm going to put you in a plastic bag. I hope you can still hear. It'll be mostly on time loop anyway, because it's not that exciting to watch in real time, and it's very noisy, the machine. So let's get the machine set up and then start painting. Right, so I'm white, but the room is also white, and we'll see how it looks when it dries. It's just a shadow from the tripod. Doesn't look bad from where I'm stood. Obviously you can see my wonderful plastering job. And you know, I think, because this is where we start, this will probably be where we finish, because we'll go through rooms one by one. This room is now, for me, far from perfect, but definitely livable in. And that was sort of the goal, the initial goal. We didn't spend too much time, we certainly didn't spend too much money, so now we'll just move on and make this house more and more livable in so that we can spend more time here as a family. And then, you know, once we've done this in the living room, then we can get into the kitchen, and the kitchen will have to be perfect, and the terrace will do, you know, definitively, because those are things that we will always have. You know, we're going to have that provisional kitchen, so when we start building the real kitchen, we won't be in need of a kitchen. Whereas at the moment, there was nowhere really that I would feel happy having children sleep, and now I do. I'm quite happy for them to sleep here. So that was painting. The spray machine is fabulous. It saves a massive amount of time. The paint goes on very well. This is just, you know, paint from the DIY store. It's nothing special, and it wasn't massively expensive. Don't use really cheap paint, because it's pointless. You'll have to paint 6 or 7 times. So it's, you know, sort of middle of the range paint, but it's fine. You know, we're talking about matte white. What could possibly go wrong? Well, so the only thing is cleaning it afterwards is a bit of a pain. You have to run water through it again and again and again until the water comes out pretty clear. But it is it's the biggest single investment. You know, I mentioned, I think in a previous video, it's give or take 500 odd euros. I did order an extension, which would have meant not getting up on the chair to do the ceiling. That would have been brilliant, but that hasn't arrived yet. That'll be for a next project. So yeah, I can recommend if you have a lot to paint. I know this is only a tiny little room, but we do have the whole of the house indoors and out, and apparently it will work outside. So I think that's a worthwhile investment. Well, that's probably about it now for painting. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I am very painted, but my iPhone isn't because it was in a plastic bag, and I hope that didn't come out too badly, but we'll find out. If you enjoyed this, then like it, subscribe to it, leave your comments down below about my terrible painting or the fact that the walls were perfectly prepped for painting or even barely prepped. Still, I'm aware of that. Thank you very much. See you next time. Okay, so after a few short weeks, we're back in the house, and this time I'm not alone. Girlfriend and the kids are here, so that's fabulous, and hopefully we'll be able to have some fun. What we are going to do is try and squeeze all of us into this little tiny room here and share the little tiny bathroom, which is still blue and still needs to be cemented, and that'll happen soon. But what I do need to do first is deal with the floor here. This is what we've chosen. It's like a multi-layered oak. It's click, no gluing. So we've got a real oak layer there that can even be sanded. Then we've got HDF, a little bit of pine at the bottom. I think they look fabulous. We're going to use this, which is the underlay, gold reflected, 1.6 millimeters, fixed together, so that shouldn't be too complicated to put down either. And although you would normally start on the longest wall, because the only straight wall in this room is the wall that we put up with plasterboard, we're actually going to start there and work towards the door, because if you see just how the tiles run, we'd have a huge loss going down that wall and down that wall, so nothing lines up, and it's going to be much easier, I think, to put it down there. And because the room is, now that we've shortened it a bit, it's quite square, it shouldn't look too bad. So I'm going to do some time lapse, and I'm going to get on with this then. Okay, so we got the first few rows down. So I think it looks very, very nice with the white walls. Chestnut would have perhaps been more traditional, but this oak looks great. It's nice and light. It's not completely out of place in a house like this. And this this clip stuff, which just goes down very, very easily, is a dream to work with. The quality's been very good. There's no broken bits, so I'm really very, very happy with that. I paid a little over 30 euros, I think, a square meter, so it's not ridiculously expensive either compared to real wood, and even compared to plastic or vinyl. So, no, I'm very happy with that. So I'm going to get on, finish it, and start getting the furniture in here so that we can sleep in here tonight. Okay, so there we go. Ready for skirting boards, which we'll do much later, but more importantly, ready for furniture, which I'm going to put in now. I think the oak looks lovely with the white walls. The little dresser in there, and there'll obviously be a door. I have a door, but I need to tile in the bathroom. We did bring some tiles, I'll probably show them to you tomorrow. But now I'm going to get a couple of beds in here so that the kids can go to sleep. And then we're going to head up for a well-earned aperitivo. And I shall catch up with you next time.